Chinese women prefer foreign men for love and locals for stability. I have this news which I just received in the WeChat, and I thought, why not share it with you? In a recent episode of the popular show Victor's Conversation with Asian Beauties, host Victor addressed a common stereotype surrounding relationships in China. Whether foreign men, particularly white Westerners, have an easier time finding a girlfriend in China. Through interviews with several Chinese women, the show aimed to debunk this myth, offering a candid look at how local women perceive foreigners and Chinese men in romantic relationships. Victor initiated the discussion by asking, "Do you think foreign men have an easier time finding a girlfriend in China? Or is it not as easy as they might think?" The responses varied but consistently highlighted the curiosity and attraction many Chinese women feel towards foreign men. The first interview, a young woman shared, "I think it will be easier for foreigner men to find a girlfriend here because Chinese women generally like foreign men." Generally. I know that you guys here have been with also, like many Chinese women since you were living in China. Of course, you could not be with beautiful Mexicans. Maybe you haven't been living here. What would you prefer, Chinese or Latin? Tell me why. I'm not trying to compare anything. I'm just curious about it. Anyways, so this sentiment was echoed by second women who agreed that foreign men tend to attract more attention due to their appearance, often perceived as more attractive than local men. "I do think foreign men find it easier," said the second woman, "as a foreigners, they catch people's eyes more easily. Plus, many foreigners are so good looking like you," she added. "Oh my God, she's a sneaky one." Gesturing to Victor, her statement reflected a common view that the novelty of a foreigner's looks and the perceived glamour of their background can make them more desirable. The third woman interviewed offered a more nuanced perspective. While agreeing that foreign men might be more attractive to Chinese women, especially in the early stages of a relationship, especially in early stages. What does that exactly mean? She noted a significant difference in long-term relationship goals. Does it sound familiar, guys? We talked about this issue previously. If both a Chinese and foreign man offer the same qualities, she explained, most Chinese girls might choose the foreign man for dating and excitement. Ooh, they are cheeky. However, when it comes to marriage, many will prefer a Chinese man because their family doesn't want them to marry someone so far away. This sentiment was echoed by the fourth woman who elaborated on the specific appeal of foreign men to women in Harbin. "Foreign men are indeed more likely to find girlfriends here," she said, "especially for us Harbin girls. We think foreign guys are so handsome and we love to get to know them. Many Chinese women are curious about foreign culture and the possibility of moving abroad. Having a foreign boyfriend makes them feel unique and gives them social status among their friends." Ooh, that's very hot. I do want to move abroad as well, and I do want to have that kind of status of having a foreign, not boyfriend, but husband. I mean, I'm done with boyfriends, I believe. Anyways, let's keep up with the story. The responses highlighted a clear divide between the pursuit of excitement and the desire of stability. On one hand, foreign men are seen as a source of novelty, romance, and adventure. Chinese women may be drawn to the idea of learning about a different culture, experiencing life with someone from a different background, and perhaps even relocating to another country. The attraction of foreign men, particularly from Western countries, is often linked to the idea of breaking away from the conventional and embracing a life that feels more thrilling. Yeah, I love excitement and having a thrilling plan. However, when it comes to long-term commitment like marriage, many women express a preference for Chinese men. The logistical challenges of international relationships, such as distance, language barriers, and cultural differences, are factors that many consider when choosing a partner for marriage. Chinese women, especially those with strong family ties, are more likely to choose a local man who can provide a sense of security, share values and familiarity. The public reaction to these interviews has been mixed, with many netizens expressing their surprise and in some cases disappointment. Why? One netizen commented, "I always thought Chinese women were quiet and reserved, but it turns out I was wrong. These interviews show that many Chinese women are openly admitting that they pursue foreign men for love and excitement." Just love and excitement. Like, oh, they were so quiet and reserved. This interview, just love and excitement, not to be that explicit of why the Chinese women didn't end up being that quiet and reserved. Let's continue. And local men for stability. Even Victor, the foreign host, seemed taken aback by their honesty. Some viewers also felt that the women in the video might not have been fully aware of the potential implications of their statements. Don't they realize how embarrassing it sounds to say pursue love with foreign men, pursue stability with Chinese men? One netizen remarked, "Isn't this a bit degrading to their own culture and local men?" Give me a break, once again. The culture. Others, however, defended the women, stating that their preferences were based on their personal experiences and cultural differences. It's natural for people to seek variety and new experiences in relationships. One netizen wrote, "Just because someone prefers a foreigner for dating doesn't mean they disrespect Chinese men or want to marry them." That's so true and so precise, on point. Once again, themselves just not despising, but just preferring something else that Chinese, China, just makes you against them. Or netizens in the internet just want to be your rivals. So these are the facts regarding love and stability. So they prefer foreigners for love, but Chinese for stability. What does that really mean? So basically, maybe, as I am understanding, the relationships with Chinese men are not as exciting. I'm not just talking to regarding the intimate issue, but maybe romantic, like, "I miss you, honey, I love you, let's do this, let's go to romantic this." They're maybe cold there, and whenever you go to China and you can see that the couples, of course not all of them, by the way, it's just a disclaimer, it's gonna be maybe, let's say 60%, just to be a little bit under the numbers for me not to be judged at. I believe maybe 60% of the couples, whenever you see them hanging out in shopping mall, etc., they're just on their cell phones or quite cold with each other. They're not as romantic as when you go and see two foreigners, like especially two Latin Americans. Let's just keep Latin Americans away from the subject because that's also too much passion for this topic. So basically, this article didn't talk anything about other colors of man, just white. So I am understanding that it refers to maybe Americans, British, Australians, Germans, etc., just like white people. So Chinese prefer them for love, but for stability they prefer Chinese. I don't want to imagine if they will ask regarding Latins because they are less stable, but the love is maybe even more exciting because they are way too talkative about this, like, "I love you with all my heart," and so passionate. And nonetheless, they still will consider like Chinese for marriage because the safety reasons regarding maybe financial aspect as well as like family and security, having a planned future ahead, not just like be randomly in love, hanging around, kissing each other, talking, texting beautiful words, but with no real plan of where are you going next or something regarding a commitment, a marriage, having children. Besides, so many white men nowadays are not wanting or willing to have children. I mean, like, they want to have a girlfriend but not really want to have the commitment and do not want to plan a family. not white men, I mean foreigners overall. Just like in China, Chinese are rushed to have a marriage, to have children ASAP. So they will feel more likely to marry a Chinese because they somehow match the ideas of the families, compared to a foreign family, which doesn't really pushes the son or the child to do whatsoever. Um, and he's just by himself, maybe traveling in China, having fun, and he doesn't want to be bothered or overwhelmed to plan a future or a family with a person. Chinese men are or have been working all his life. Maybe from the day he went into university, he was very sure of what he was going to study and how he's gonna be saving money for the day he will meet the one, in order to offer her a stable plan ahead. So these are quite important big differences. And in a previous video in the channel, I talk about like Mexicans and Chinese, and how like Mexicans were more emotional and passionate about like going out with people or having such relationships with men, and Chinese were more analytical and logical, just like, not, I don't want to use the word materialistic, but they are just more, how to say, okay, show me what you have, I want to see with my own eyes your love, not just hear it. Just like the Latinas, if they get to hear some beautiful messages or read some beautiful text, that's pretty much quite enough for many, which is just not nice. Have you watched the previous video of that story of the Chinese boss dating this Mexican Latina who wants to just procreate with her, and she's fine with that, maybe, although he's married in China, etc., etc. So this is happening. I will support Chinese. Just looking around friends here in Mexico or in Latin America overall, listening to my followers' stories, they don't much analyze what commitment really is, and they can just be with someone out of listening beautiful words, which some of these words never come to reality. Like they never realize, just beautiful words for you to listen and fall for this trap, or keep giving him the benefit of everything and not getting much. So I do support that Chinese girls are more like, okay, where is the plan? Show me what you have, what you can offer. And they do choose stability. Maybe for some of you guys will seem like a little bit materialistic, but if you listen to the stories that I have been telling you regarding the Latinas here dating Chinese men, they are really not thinking about their future children. Like, for example, they just go with the flow and with the passion, with the excitement, with the thrillment, with the love, as this article says, not having in consideration that tomorrow that child will suffer from not having a father because he's gone. He just can ghost them anytime, since there's no commitment. Usually this happens with Latin men as well. Like, they don't expect much, so they don't get much. And Chinese girls, Chinese women usually do expect much. So if you want to be with them, there's nothing else that just to give them that much in order to be with them. Of course, if it's not your cup of tea, then just go elsewhere. But as far as they getting their stability, or they just securing the bag for them and for the future generations to come, I do believe it's a good choice. Just not thinking about them or the moment or their feelings, but also considering like the tomorrow or the after tomorrow or the 10 years down the road when they have a child. Will this man still be there? Will this man be responsible, committed to the relationship, committed to taking care of her and him? Will this man be willing to work for the family to offer the best for them? Or is just living in the moment and enjoying the pleasure, the laughs, the kisses, the hugs, and texting romantically sending hearts. Well, I need papaya. So I do believe there must be like a mix of both. Of course, not just stability over love or love over stability. I want both of them, love and stability. Of course, why wouldn't I? I don't want to sacrifice love to get just stability, but I couldn't live happy or not satisfied, but maybe like realized how to say. But you will feel always that something is lacking if you choose stability over love, because then you will fall into someone else's arms and there will be another story. What do you guys think about this?